Finally, the burden is gone. The no academic background policy was doomed to fail from the start.
Now we're back to a company full of T-University graduates. What a relief.
What the heck?
What are we going to do?
What a useless guy. Why is someone like you working at our company, where only top-tier graduates can enter?
Seriously, I can't believe I have to work with someone from an F-rank university. How did you even get hired?
I'm Jun Shibayama, a 28-year-old who transferred from a small regional newspaper company to Fossil News, the largest publisher of nationwide newspapers. I tried to work harder than most, but this is how I'm treated daily at my current company. What's required in an article is curiosity, insight, and, most importantly, an objective perspective. No way an F-rank graduate can manage that, right?
You also need multifaceted information gathering skills and the ability to process it mentally. I really don't think you're capable.
The ones relentlessly mocking me are Daiji Gakureki and Kokoro Elito. Even though I joined mid-career, I'm treated as their peer because we're the same age, but they're graduates of Japan's top university, T-University. Maybe it's precisely because we went through the entrance exam system in the same generation that my F-rank university background irritates them so much. Shibayama-san, your report is fascinating. The trigger for my career change was attending a seminar hosted by Fossil News. After I submitted my impressions of the seminar via email, I received a call from the company's executive managing director. As you know, the antiquated structure of the newspaper industry must be reformed, or there is no future for print media. To that end, we are pursuing reforms and innovations, one of which is a no academic background required hiring test. Shibayama-san, would you consider applying for a mid-career recruitment exam? Opportunities like this don't come often. I jumped at the chance and decided to take the recruitment exam. Fortunately, I managed to transfer to a major newspaper company I could never have entered with my F-rank degree. But still, the reality didn't match my ideal. Fossil News is a company that has existed since the early Meiji period, so reforming it isn't a simple task. Despite the managing director's aspirations, I was constantly ridiculed without reason, sabotaged by the ultra-educated employees, and left to constantly second-guess everyone's mood. Even so, I worked as hard as I could, but eventually, I reached my limit. 2 years later. It's been a short time, but thank you for everything. I submitted my resignation and today is my last day at work. Finally, the burden is gone. The no academic background policy was doomed to fail from the start.
Now we're back to a company full of T-University graduates. What a relief.
Without even looking at Daiji Gakureki or Kokoro Elito, I left the company at the end of December. I never want to experience something like this again. But what kind of workplace would suit me? The thought weighed on me so much that I couldn't focus on job hunting. While at home, my phone rang. Looking at the display, it was Fossil News' number. What could this be about now? Shibayama-kun? The caller was the executive managing director who had given me the opportunity to transfer. I heard you went through a tough time at the company. The HR director and news director told me all about it. We're devising measures to prevent this from happening again, but I'm sure it's too late for you. I deeply regret that I couldn't intervene in time. I'm truly sorry. Please don't say that. It's not something you need to apologize for, sir. Everything was my decision and my responsibility. Have you decided on your next workplace? No, I'm still racking my brain over finding a place that fits me. I see. Well, this isn't to atone for anything. I've been looking into workplaces that might suit you. There's a company called Otaki Co., a rising star with employees from diverse educational and career backgrounds. Their self-developed app is gaining popularity, and they plan to expand their news content soon. I think it could be an environment where your experience would really shine. What do you think? If they're expanding news distribution, I might be able to use my experience as a journalist. More than anything, I was drawn to the idea of working in a young company with people from various educational backgrounds. Thank you. I'll give it a serious thought. I immediately researched Otaki Co. and found out they're a company that doesn't care about academic background. The job descriptions interested me, and the work environment seemed promising, and so... I'm Jun Shibayama. It's a pleasure to be working with you all starting today. I successfully passed the recruitment exam and joined Otaki Co. Now, I'm working in the news content department, just as I had hoped. Jun, great work! Your recent projects have been impressive. Your research in particular is very thorough. Thank you so much. I've learned a lot from all the advice you've given me.
I'm looking forward to the next feature. Let me know if there's anything I can help with, Jun-kun.
It's an environment where hard work is fairly evaluated, and I've been able to work freely and comfortably. Incidentally, this office is quite friendly, and using first names is the norm here.
Jun-kun, you've really gotten the hang of the job here.
She's Marino Takahashi. She's 1 year older than me and a senior colleague, but until a month before I joined, she had been in a different department. She's new to news content work. Yes, Marino-san has been giving me so much advice, and I'm really grateful. There is so much to learn about strategies to increase subscribers, and it's incredibly insightful.
Oh, come on. I'm learning a lot from you too, Jun-kun. I'm a complete beginner when it comes to writing articles, so you've been a huge help. Thank you so much.
Marino-san always asks humbly for guidance. Apparently, she's also a graduate of T University, just like Daiji Gakureki and Kokoro Elito. I was surprised when I found out. Thanks to my previous workplace, I had almost forgotten, but there are obviously all kinds of people, even among those with high academic credentials. One day, while work was going smoothly, Marino-san invited me out for drinks to thank me for helping with her articles.
Jun-kun, you're quick on the uptake and your advice on writing is really helpful.
Thank you so much! Working with you, Marino-san, makes my job enjoyable.
Oh, stop being so formal. Our company culture is super relaxed, so you can loosen up a bit too, you know?
Sorry, it's just a habit I picked up from my previous workplace.
The one at Fossil News, right? You probably don't want to remember it, but can you tell me what it was like?
It's in the past now. I try to stay cheerful and briefly explain how I struggled with discrimination for being an F-ranked graduate.
It's still like that? That company is really stuck in the past. In the past 20 years, their circulation numbers have been halved. Just between us, at the current rate, physical newspapers will be completely gone in 15 years. That's why digital transformation is urgently needed. But nowadays, people are used to getting content online for free, right? So even if the newspaper companies try to transition to digital formats late in the game, it's hard to get people to pay for digital subscriptions. A company filled with only top-tier graduates tends to cling to existing knowledge and past successes, which makes innovation stagnate. And 15 years from now, the upper management who will be retiring often shelve the problems, acting like they're no longer their concern.
You might be right, Marino, but you seem to know a lot about this. Didn't you just start working in the news content department recently?
Oh, well, that's because...
While I was finding fulfillment in my new job and strengthening my bond with Marino and others, unsettling rumors were spreading among the employees of the Fossil newspaper company. Is it just me, or does it seem unusually noisy lately?
Really? I think it's just your imagination.
Despite the lack of awareness from Daiji and Kokoro, the situation soon turned dire.
Here's the next piece of news. The largest newspaper company, Fossil Newspaper Company, has announced large-scale layoffs. Due to a lack of progress in digital transformation, Fossil Newspaper Company has faced significant financial decline over the past few years. It is expected that 1,500 to 2,000 employees, both regular and non-regular, will be affected by the layoffs.
What the heck?
What are we going to do?
1 year after I left the company, Fossil Newspaper Company began major downsizing operations. Employees were transferred to so-called banishment rooms with no work to do or reassigned to subsidiaries and subcontractors. The staff were on edge, fearing when the HR department would call on them. No, it's fine. We are young. Layoffs always target older people.
Yeah, that's right. There's no way we'd be chosen.
Trying to maintain their composure, they both received a terrifying notification through the company chat system. Hey! I'm an absolute essential asset to this company! I graduated from T University, but I haven't rested on my laurels and have continued to put in effort. I even prevented an F-ranked graduate from messing up the company.
I've always put the company first, identifying and, when necessary, removing those with unconventional ideas. Only someone who truly loves this company could do that. There's no way I should be a part of these layoffs.
Despite their desperate attempts to plead their cases individually, their efforts were futile. Damn it! A company that doesn't recognize my value isn't worth my time!
To ignore all my contributions! What a narrow-minded organization!
Trying to gain favor without concrete achievements ultimately proved meaningless. In the end, both were forced to resign. Shibayama? Long time no see! A few months after news of the Fossil Newspaper Company's layoff spread, I happened to run into Daiji Gakureki and Kokoro Elito. Long time no see. Well, I'm busy, so I'll get going. Wait! Please hear us out!
We haven't been able to find new jobs since we left Fossil Newspaper Company. We heard through the grapevine that you're working at Otaki Corporation, right? Can't you put in a good word for us?
I don't owe you any favors. Don't say that! Come on, we were co-workers at Fossil Newspaper. Didn't I help you out a few times?
It's a small company, right? You could talk directly to the CEO or something. Please?
After all their boasts of helping me, and referring to Otaki Corporation as a small company, I had enough. If you're that eager to join, why don't you apply? We're hiring mid-career candidates right now. Is that true? Alright, I'll apply.
Then I'll count on you to put in a good word for us.
Hey, wait! I said I'm not doing that! Ignoring my attempt to stop them, the two walked off on their own. For now, I decided to head back to the office and inform HR that two questionable individuals might apply for the mid-career recruitment. When I returned...
Why not just talk directly to CEO Otaki at this point?
After listening to my complaints, Marino suggested this idea. Incidentally, at Otaki, the open, communicative work culture makes it relatively easy to approach the CEO. Wouldn't that be a bother?
I don't think so. After all...
Wow, having the CEO herself attend the very first interview is such an honor! You have such an eye for talent!
You must have already looked into our past achievements and recognized our worth.
When I reported the two to HR, the CEO personally offered to conduct their initial interview.
I've heard quite a few rumors about you two.
Oh? Could it be about our academic records at T University? Honestly, we've achieved so much it's hard to narrow it down.
Needless to say, we're far more capable than Shibayama from F-ranked university. Please do consider hiring us. You two are more capable than our Shibayama? Surely you're joking. That's quite amusing. What?
Not understanding her words, Daiji and Kokoro blinked in confusion. while the CEO continued to smile.
A simple bit of research would tell you that our company does not prioritize academic credentials in hiring. Naturally, we have employees who graduated from F-ranked universities, and even those who didn't attend college. We can't afford to have people like you with an elitist mindset looking down on your colleagues joining our company.
No, we don't mean to look down on people with less education.
That's right. It's just that only graduates from T University like us can handle certain jobs. Oh, is that so? If you're going to claim that, then we have no choice but to call in some witnesses.
Responding to the CEO's call, 2 employees enter the meeting room. Why is Shibayama here? Yes, it was Marino and me who entered the room. When I informed the CEO about you two, she specifically instructed us to attend this meeting.
I see how it is. So this is your doing, isn't it?
Excuse me?
CEO Otaki, you've been misled by Shibayama. He's twisted by his inferiority complex about academics and holds a grudge against us.
That's right. He disrupted our work and even caused issues at our previous company. If you've taken his words at face value, please reconsider and evaluate us fairly. They must have thought they could use me to save themselves, but...
Silence!
Their disgraceful behavior only further fueled CEO Otaki's frustration.
Don't think you can assault our employees and spout nonsense as if I don't know the truth. I'm fully aware that it was people like you who disrupted the performance of your previous company. After all, I used to work at Fossil Newspaper Company.
What? Yes, the CEO had once worked at Fossil Newspaper Company. She had been fighting to reform its archaic elitist systems and bad practices. However, constant interference from conservative factions pushed her to leave and established Otaki Inc.
To be honest, we could have rejected you both during the resume screening process. But I heard you two were emblematic of everything wrong with my old company, so I decided to see for myself and invited you here. Oh, and my knowledge of Fossil Newspaper Company's situation isn't just because I'm a former employee.
Under the CEO's gaze, Marino stepped forward.
Nice to meet you. I'm Marino Takahashi, daughter of Takahashi, the senior managing director at Fossil Newspaper Company.
It turned out Marino's father, who had offered me the opportunity to change jobs, was the same senior managing director trying to reform Fossil Newspaper Company.
I worked tirelessly to support Senior Managing Director Takahashi's efforts to change the outdated company structure. But the backlash from the conservative factions was so intense that I was about to be crushed. Senior Managing Director Takahashi advised me to go independent instead. He believed it would be better to leave a stagnant company than to remain and become disillusioned, so I chose this path. Since I heard about this from my father, I decided to join Otaki Inc. And the 3 of us have been sharing information about Fossil Newspaper Company within the bounds of the law. I graduated from Teen University like you two, and am technically your senior. Moreover, we have employees here who graduated from prestigious universities overseas. However, no one here mocks Shibayama. In the professional world, the name of your university holds little value. What matters is how much you contribute to your company. Thinking you're superior just because you graduated from T University? When will you finally outgrow your student mindset? That concludes the interview. Thank you for coming today.
With those words, Daiji and Kokoro staggered to their feet, looking utterly defeated. I wonder which of us was truly the burden. With those quiet words from me, the 2 left the room. Time passed, and Daiji Gakureki and Kokoro Elito still couldn't find a new job. Why? Why can't any company recognize how amazing I am?
The world is messed up. Highly educated people who've overcome tough exams should continue to be treated favorably.
Graduating from a prestigious university is indeed an achievement, but that's not what truly matters. Unless they let go of their warped pride, it will remain difficult for them to find re-employment. Once again, I sincerely apologize. By starting the no academic requirements hiring policy, we caused you such hardship. Not at all. My experience at Fossil Newspaper Company taught me the pain of being treated unfairly. That experience will surely benefit me in life going forward, so in a way, I'm grateful for it. Meanwhile, at Fossil Newspaper Company, Takahashi finally succeeded in lobbying to remove the conservative senior staff and employees. They also began compensating former employees who had been treated unfairly, as part of a broader reform effort led by Takahashi. It's a thorny path, but they've started looking years ahead. I hope they manage to recover someday.
These days, I keep thinking about how to write articles that truly move people's hearts. Thanks to you, I've discovered the joy of writing. Thank you, Jun-kun.
A few more months passed. The news content Marino and I had worked on steadily expanded. I've also learned so much from you, Marino-san. About work, treating people equally, and how being by your side makes my heart race like this. In the darkness of the night, Marino's bright red face was impossible to miss as I gazed at her directly. I like you. Please go out with me. People rely on some kind of standard when making judgments, be it education, skills, or personality. But are the criteria you rely on truly appropriate? It's something we should consider carefully, depending on the situation.
If I'm good enough for you, I'm so happy. Should I write about this feeling in an article?
The person you love, standing before you, you just want to make them happy. This instinctive feeling doesn't require any specific standard. Once again, Marino taught me something new.
Hello, Brittany here. As a person with a musical theater major, it really is irrelevant. Most people don't really care. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time.